Should you continue running meta ads if you can't track correctly?
I think if you're completely blind, you're out.
I was a little bit shocked. What are you tracking? There was nothing.
We need to fix this or not run ads.
No one tells people this.
No.
Welcome to the Fake Marketer, everybody. Let's do this really monotone so Nick gets annoyed.
Welcome to the Fake Marketer, everybody. I've just filmed 2 podcasts with my assistant there, Michael. In this tone. I don't know what else to call him. Colleague. He was assisting me with my setup, wasn't he?
Can you imagine your new LinkedIn job title? Nick's assistant.
It won't be.
I need it.
See how the pitch changed.
I was just taking the.
Okay.
Sorry, we can't swear. Anyway, how you doing? You all right?
All right, yeah, good.
So we can't meander too much. We've got to go straight into this now because the audience has told us.
Did you see the clip, Nick?
No. Disappointing.
Podcast feedback.
Yeah, he won't. No, he doesn't.
Goes on too long talking about rubbish.
Yeah, so we're going to go straight into it because this is a value podcast, Nick.
Yeah.
So.
Probably why mine's so successful. Carry on.
Maybe. So we're going to be discussing today.
Yeah.
Should you continue running meta ads if you can't track correctly?
2 answers.
Well, go on then.
All right. Okay.
Well, you're the Facebook specialist, so we keep hearing on this podcast.
So I could actually use this. Yes and no. Really, it's no, but it depends on what you can do. I suppose organically, figuring out yourself. Well, right. Okay. So when you have to do any tracking, we've got conversion APIs, we've got pixels, we've got all these things. It's getting harder and harder and harder for us. And if anyone was advertising when iOS 14 came out, Apple decided to ask all of its users if they wanted to share their advertising policies or whatever it was called. Everyone, 97% of people said, yes, I want to hide from tracking, which kind of messed us all up. So the platforms have been working around the clock and they probably sorted it out, what, a year and a half ago, I think, something like that. But it's still not really fixed. So the Pixel does a lot of stuff. It gets on there and you've got first party and third party tracking and cookies, yeah? A first party is when someone opens a lead form because you're advertising on Facebook. A first party is when you've got your catalog fed into Facebook, someone opens it up and you open their shop. A third party is when they go through to the website, and that's the third party. And the problem is with the third party tracking, because it's then gone, want to send everything back, but Apple's not allowing us to send it back, or Google's tracking capabilities with the cookies that are disappearing is not allowing it to be sent back to Meta, TikTok, or wherever you're advertising from. This is why Meta and TikTok, with their shops and all this lot, are trying to keep it on the platform to be first party. Yeah? Following?
I'm following.
Okay. Then GA4 started and everyone went, yeah, GA4 is going to make it so much easier because it was all like, it's going to help e-commerce companies and all that. It does, as long as it's been set up properly. So it's a whole different thing. And the GA4 experts that we know... Shout out to Kevin. Are basically saying, everything you knew about Google Analytics, scrap it, reset and learn something else. So you can't go into GA4 going, oh, I need to do the same things I did last time, where is it? It's not just like we've had an upgrade, it's like we've now completely changed the environment. So it's a whole learning curve. So with all that being said, we then had Conversions API, which is not the easiest thing to set up. If you've got a shop on Shopify and you plug into Meta, you can just literally switch a switch on, and Shopify and Meta have such a good relationship, it just sorts it all out for you. If you don't, you're getting a developer in. My skills aren't even there to help someone do it. It's like you've opened Pandora's box of trying to fix it. But basically what that's doing is the server that your website or your platform is sitting on will talk to Facebook server. So it becomes server and server. So you've got Pixel picking up anyone who's Android and all this sort of stuff, fires in. Then you've got server to server. Now, this is a real basic thing, and if anyone's got any intelligence who's listened to this, they might go, you said something wrong. Keeping it pretty basic. That's basically how it goes, right? So yes, you can track by those but then you might have another problem, which is what we've had with a company that we've started advertising a month, 6 weeks ago. everything looked good. The pixel said it's all there. There's green lights everywhere. Everything is A-okay. And they've been trading for what, 2 years? Seeing stuff. So when someone goes from Google, they go through to the website. That all seems to be tracking okay. We turned on Facebook ads, spent 1,500 quid in 24 hours, didn't get one add to cart or one purchase off a landing page on a website, Shopify website, that we'd already gone through the whole process, doing our due diligence, and it worked. And right at this moment in time, we still don't know why. It's now gone out of our hands and gone to experts whilst they do that before we do any more creative testing. But we were able to see it because we can look at the back end of Shopify. So we then created we duplicated their product page and called it an LRS product page. So theoretically, only people who've come from our ads in Meta can purchase off that page because you couldn't come across it any other way. But we don't know what ads. We don't know what campaigns, we don't know video, we don't know anything. So anything we can do when we've done a slight bit of testing is going, well, if that video's got a 3.5% click-through rate, we're assuming it's a good click-through rate, so we're assuming that's all good. And if the static, for instance, has got a 0.48, it's been turned off.
So, if that particular client that we're using as an example of at the moment, how many ads have you got live, or did you have live?
Not a lot. 12.
12. Okay, so let's say you've got 12 ads. Why would you turn them off? If you can only, is that the free trial one, yeah?
We haven't turned them off now.
You haven't?
I told them to turn them back on again, they are on.
Fine.
Because they need an acquisition of £7 per acquisition.
Yeah, but if you can track it, isn't it over its entirety in terms of creative, but as an overall, we're going to spend grand on Meta, that grand equates to this many conversions.
Yeah.
Okay, forget about the creative and the copy.
So we're spending like 3,000 as it is at the moment a month.
Okay.
And they're getting their CPA is about £3.50 to £4.
But then we don't
They
turn
need
off.
it to be £7.
Don't turn off.
Exactly. So that's what we've come back to with, and it's now on.
Okay.
But we're not doing any more testing because we've got enough going on. The only thing we can do is, because we're not seeing any add to carts or purchases, or we are, but it's nowhere near correct, is we've only got our click-throughs to go through. Now, we don't know how accurate those click-throughs are. They're accurate enough, but...
But what is accurate is how much it's costing you to acquire.
Yeah. And it's actually more because a few people are actually buying the product twice. And some people, the other day I saw someone and they'd spent £46. So they'd actually gone on, seen that ad, bought actually quite a few different types of items, and it had come back. So in Shopify I saw that Deirdre had spent £46, but she had come from our ad for a free trial.
Okay, yeah.
So it's all good. We're in a really good place. But that's come down to really the creator that we put in front of it. So we did, while it was broken, the creator we were given just wasn't really working. So we went back 12, 14 months to see what gave us good click-throughs at that point, and then recreated those ads again from scratch. Kept the creator, but just rather than just turn it back on again, we just recreated the ads, and they were giving us really good click-throughs. So then we've gone from that basically. So we've had to still put some intelligence into it. But if you're only on one platform, Meta, and you've got one website, and that's the only way you're driving traffic, you're going to know if it's working or not.
Yeah, but you won't turn off them, would you?
No. It just means you're going to get to the point where you don't know really what is working. If you want to start really scaling up, you need to know what's working.
Yes.
Because even on this particular account, even the UTMs aren't working. So UTM is a bit of code that's on the back, on the end of the URL.
Why aren't the UTMs working?
Because GA4 is not throwing back what it should be throwing back.
Okay.
The whole thing, we don't know why it happened. The client is basically saying in December they changed the Shopify theme. Now, just changing or upgrading a Shopify theme shouldn't make a difference to your Shopify site.
You shouldn't, no.
Something's happened.
Okay.
So there's a few people involved now trying to fix it. Because as far as the company is concerned, If you're circa 50% under what your CPA needs to be, you've got something you can properly scale, haven't you? It's quite It's quite an exciting place to be in for a customer.
Yeah, if it's
not every day you come across customers that are beating by 50% their targets.
No, it's absurd, isn't it?
So we want to scale. So frustratingly, they can't.
Well, they could.
No, they could,
without the intelligence. So if you had 8 ads or 12 ads, and
we could just keep on turning these ads.
Let's say they were on 20 quid a day. You could just increase it.
Yeah, which we have been doing.
So you could.
But we've just got like a 2 or 3 week hold, so they'd just rather just not have to worry about that. Keep orders coming in.
Because I think the hard thing is that, especially with Meta, is that, and what people don't understand is that when you stop an ad, you have to, once you put it back live, it's got to it gets put back into learning phase.
Yeah.
No one tells people this.
No.
Because they're like, oh, just turn it back on. So,
or change the creative, or do all these things.
Yeah. And we had it, didn't we, with a charity a few years back that we were doing a house raffle. And because there was sort of 10 days left, they wanted to do a countdown, didn't they? And we said, look, don't do the countdown. Just keep the ad live, but just, and all the rest of it. So what we had to do is we had to, although we did the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 1.
I think we went from 20.
It was quite.
And I don't think they listened to us until 3.
Well, no, but what we had going in the background was the original ad still.
Yeah.
Because that was the one that was still creating conversions, opposed to resetting the whole algorithm every day, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
But they could scale.
They could scale. But we can only do what we can do. We can give our best advice. They're not stupid. They know how we're, it's not often the client says, thank you. I know it's not though, is it?
No.
It's not.
No, you don't get money.
Like you just, in a way, that's why we like working with the ads clinic, don't we? Because you're actually helping small businesses, well, not even just small to medium-sized businesses, who really, really appreciate what you do. I've always found that when you're dealing with the bigger brands, it's kind of just like, you get them out, you do something, and it's just like, okay, that's what we pay you for, that's brilliant, thanks. Oh, actually, forget the thanks.
Well, it's a transaction, isn't it?
It's a transaction.
You are...
Whereas this one was just like, I know we're not there yet, but I think as well, I can't believe the effort you and your team have gone into to get to where we are now, even though it's still not working the way we want it to. Which is really nice to hear then.
It is. So, back to the original question, which is, would you continue with running Meta ads if you can't track properly or not?
If I wasn't completely blind. I think if you're completely blind, you're out. I wouldn't just send stuff to a website from different channels.
I had one the other day. So we had a lead in from LinkedIn, a car leasing firm, and they said, "Oh, well, look, we're using another agency at the moment, and we just don't feel happy. We seem to only get attention when we raise our voices a little bit." I was like, "Okay, well, depending on how much you're paying, that might you might not be paying enough, which means you don't get the time. It's a time money exchange." But when I looked on, say again,
were they paying enough?
Actually, yeah, they were, to be fair. And they had a budget up to 10 grand a month, so it wasn't a small amount of money. But what was really interesting was that I went onto their website. They didn't have another pixel alive on there. Now, they may have had some other tracking, and I get it. But the fact they were sending traffic to this particular website, and in such a competitive market, which is car leasing, on both consumer and business, I was a little bit shocked as to what are you tracking?
Yeah.
There was nothing.
Were they getting results?
It was hit and miss. They were sending some of the traffic to WhatsApp. They were doing some lead forms, but they were sending some traffic direct. But I said, even if you were keeping people on the platform, you still have a pixel set up anyway.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. You still want to get intelligence going back.
Well, yeah,
to your business manager.
Yeah, exactly, because that's what that does.
But it's good that they are keeping it in first party, though, isn't it? Lead forms and WhatsApp.
Yeah, they said WhatsApp's brilliant, and they've got some really cool automations in terms of that the initial questions to qualify and disqualify via WhatsApp. And it works really, really well for them. I think actually WhatsApp is something we probably don't use enough for clients.
We're trying to use it more and more and more. I think it's the clients, I think it's a new education on the client.
Well, we're going to be using it for Stonebridge actually, aren't we? For the insurance.
One of their competitors is actually using it.
Okay.
But most of their competitors are quite old school.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see that one's already using that.
It'd be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah.
But no, but that's a good example of that tracking is that
They're using it for chat, sorry. They're using it for like the chat
okay.
capabilities on the website, not so much running ads to it.
Okay.
But everyone's using WhatsApp, aren't they, more and more? I mean, I live in my chat, you know, just in where your messages are. But if you go back to the other bit where I think your profile is, you start seeing people's stories. And I had a few people that I was following who were actually quite active on their stories.
Okay.
Which I didn't think people would be.
No.
But they are.
Okay.
So
you would, depending on the situation, you would or wouldn't?
It just literally depends on, like, for that particular client we're choosing, another agency, which is a partner agency to us, not part of our group, but you know, someone we do a lot of work with, a partner. They're doing the PPC. Now they were getting. So I spoke to them and I said, well, how's it going on PPC? It's like, well, we're assuming it's working. They haven't said any different, and they're able to track, and it's coming through a CPA of £7. So it's like when I looked at the keywords behind their ads, I could see that they have competitors up there. So it's more likely to be more expensive because do you know what I mean? So they're going to be paying a bit more. So I was like, well, there's a word, but I was like, I'm using the website as is. I'm completely and utterly blind to it. I just don't know. I don't know because Google's going to suck up everything, isn't it?
Google's always going to be first priority.
So I don't know if it's working or not. So at that point we were like, we need to make a decision on what you do. We need to fix this or not run ads. And it was only when they came back the next day and said, let's build you your own. We can actually build your own landing page, so we can carry on. And as soon as that happened, we were down to £3.50, £4.
Okay.
So then we were carried on. Now they're wanting to tidy it up before they start spending any money. So we're essentially not far off what their coming on board with us media spend was. We're about £1,000 off. So they want to get it sorted out and scale, basically.
Okay. I think if I'm using in-app, obviously you can measure that, can't you? So whether it's lead forms, you can measure that. I think if you're sending direct traffic, especially on e-commerce, 9 times out of 10 people will be using Shopify. You're going to have enough intelligence based on what your Shopify is telling you. Problem is, or as we know, what your ad account is telling you and what Shopify is telling you, there's some discrepancies there.
It should be there or thereabouts.
But still not right, is it?
No.
Well, I say right, it's not marrying up completely. But I think, and we've discussed this before with clients, which is, if you're spending X amount for marketing and you're generating Y, sometimes you've got to be omnipresent depending on what the product is.
Your MER, James, your marketing efficiency ratio.
Nick, what is your MER, please, sir?
Marketing efficiency ratio, which is what a lot of people go by nowadays. Even though there will be people that are going, no, you can't even do that. It's your overall 10 grand out, 100 grand back in 10 times.
Because the reality is you can't attribute everything you do as a marketing to an outcome. And the problem is also, James, to add to that, is that Kevin, our go-to GA4 absolute genius, will say that 95% of Google is bottom of funnel, and most of the time they wouldn't have heard of you or Googled you unless they'd seen you in interruption marketing. No, and look at.
But most of our clients still don't take that. We've got one client that we're still on our 4th week now talking about scaling certain ads based on great click-through rate, great add to cart, initiate cart still good, even though if they go straight through to PayPal, it can mess it up. They're still umming and ahhing because they are so nervous about turning budgets up.
What's the product?
Furniture.
Okay, yeah, I know you're on about it, fine.
Because it's like, but Google says it's like, no one's ever going to tell you, you're not going to fix this. But are you IKEA? No, of course not, it'd be so stupid. So how are they going to know about you? Because if you turned Pinterest and Meta off, I could absolutely tell you, I was going to say something else, but I could tell you that will drop off.
What I'm looking forward to is and Michael, we're going to be doing this. So obviously we know Rupert isn't live yet. By the way, Michael, I'm not shaving my beard until it's live.
You mean like Santa Claus?
Well, I don't know. I think this could be an exciting week.
It could be. So I'm not going to shave this till it's finished, okay? So
Be a direct representation.
I don't care how obscene I look. It's staying until Rupert goes live. But what I'm more excited to do is once Rupert's live, is Rupert's going to actually become a client of the agency. So everything that we've discussed and the things we discussed on the podcast, and everything we preach to clients, although we do them internally. So like a lot of clients will always say to me, oh, I love those videos and stuff. I'm like, well, yeah, that's what we tell you today. Like, I'll call your clients back until they buy. That's why I'm on the phone to you now. Like we literally practice what we preach. So what I'm really excited with Rupert is showing, the world, essentially clients, prospect, whomever, is that email marketing, cold email marketing, we're going to do it. Absolutely blitzing meta ads from an awareness piece, but also,
Cold email marketing's grown both our companies from the start.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. Like a lot of the content that we've got planned, Michael, which you don't know about yet, but by we, I mean you and I. Again, all of this we will be doing, and we will literally be showcasing how we're going to grow Rupert from 0 in May, hopefully, to 1,000 users by the end of the year.
And do you know what? There's another exciting. We haven't done our adverts.
Oh no, that's the end now.
Oh, it's the end. In case
no
no
more meandering, Nick.
Okay, we're going to go on that bit.
Matthew.
Because what I was about to say relates to an advert.
Well, Nick, it's probably that time. Nick, what marketing's piqued your interest this week, sir?
It wasn't so much an advert, but it was definitely marketing through Gary Vee.
Okay.
Elon Musk has dropped a value bomb this week. An absolute value bomb.
Okay.
What's he got to do with our industry? Elon Musk.
X.
Yes. I didn't know this, but X owns something. And that something is coming back. And today could be the most exciting time for that product to come back.
Twitter owns... What does Twitter own? Threads? Oh, I don't know. Sorry.
Vine.
Oh, wow.
The start of what we had, 15, 30 and 60-second videos.
Vine was fantastic.
In 6 seconds.
Vine is coming back. So TikTok, time to poo your pants and reels.
Well, to be... Okay.
But where this is great for Rupert is we have an opportunity now to be on a new platform which is cheap, which will grow quickly, and the prices will be very cheap because it will just want to
and
get
that
into
actually
as many
changes
hands
my
as possible.
conversation with the developers. Okay, good. I'm glad you...
I'm not thinking of from...
no, but I'm thinking
from advertising.
Yeah,
It's
no,
both sides.
Yeah,
but
no, I'm thinking from another way. Okay.
exciting. Well, I don't know when. He's dropping little...
Little hints.
Oh, what's that over there? I might go and
Okay.
swing on something. So TikTok are gonna be going. Tarzan. Tarzan swinging on a vine.
That's what I was climbing.
Okay, fine.
Do you think that will usurp TikTok then?
Huh?
Vine?
Will it what?
Do you think it will usurp, overtake TikTok?
I don't know. You never know what's going to happen, but it was extremely successful. And then it just disappeared.
Yeah, it did,
It's more limited though.
But now...
If they keep the really, really short form like they had where it was 6 seconds.
But now, especially with probably, he's probably looked into his archives, and as we were saying on the car the other day about TikTok being back into the American senator's eyes and thinking, do we allow this? Elon Musk probably gone, what's that? What's that little thing that we had that I own?
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Really exciting. So
Okay.
watch this space, don't know more.
Okay. Shall I tell you what I've seen?
Yeah.
What I've heard. And it's one of your little friends, Nick. Can't believe this. So I'm listening to the podcast that I adore on a Monday, which again is out today, the new episode.
Let's run Facebook ads, the podcast. just recorded 2 episodes. I know that. It's probably the best compliment he's ever given me. He doesn't give me compliments.
Bad Friends.
Yeah.
And clicked on there. Hexclad. I'm like, oh no.
They're there now as well.
No. So, they are everywhere.
I mean, they've got some investment behind them now, surely, don't you think? I mean, it's like...
They must have. But, so that's something I've heard. I was like, okay, fair play. But I'm intrigued with TikTok, okay? So, we know they listen to us. We know all the social platforms listen, which we love, because then we go onto the platforms and get content shown to us which we're interested in. You and I had a conversation the other day on the way back from Matlock, which is celebrities, your celebrity list, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
right, yeah, okay. I won't go into too much detail, but you can put them right? So we were talking about, and we, between us, couldn't think of anyone, could we really? But in my head, I thought about someone, okay? In my brain.
You saw an ad?
Right? In my brain, I thought about someone. I thought, oh, back in the day, you know, he's like a girl that everyone sort of fancied. And this was, 20 years ago. I didn't say her name to you in the car. It was a thought in my brain. I've gone in to TikTok yesterday, so Sunday.
Yeah.
She's there. I've not seen this woman for probably 10 years.
Is there a chance that I've seen her and done something? Because the algorithm will be based also upon what I may have done.
No.
Can you say her name?
Jodie Marsh.
Yeah, we didn't discuss. She's been out of the limelight.
She's been out of the limelight for like 10 years, isn't it? And in my head I was like, oh God, I don't even know. How weird is that? So is TikTok listening to our brains?
What's that?
How's it listening to our brains though?
Nick, I don't know, but I did not discuss it with you. I didn't say it out loud when I got home, obviously, and then...
But it's the only time... You've basically only thought of her because of that game we were playing, and it wasn't even at the time of the game, it was just sometime on that journey. And you haven't thought her... Probably you've had known her for 6 years.
I've not seen her for years. I think the last time I saw...
I didn't even know she existed until you just said that name.
So can anyone?
What was it you got showed?
Oh, I don't know. I was just because it
was it an advert for something, or
no? It was just like
suggested?
her suggestions for you. Honestly, last night scared me, or yesterday. I was like, how? And I mean, I remember because I didn't even say it out loud.
No, you didn't.
So
it's a shame because I haven't seen any of the ones I did say out loud, which is annoying.
But that's weird because I've not seen a picture or video of her for 10 plus years. So that's the marketing we've seen this week.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Good episode. No meandering, Matthew.
Yeah.
So if you're still listening...
It's turned off now.
Now you can turn off?
Yeah, we're just going to give you the value. Straight into the value.
Straight value, yeah. Straight into it.
Yeah.
Rupert will be live.
By the end of this week.
This could go live and I might, it might be right.
We went into a bit of a slump of, God, and now it's perked back up again.
I said to the developer today, I said, I went from not really caring to over the weekend going, now I'm annoyed again. He said, I like when you're annoyed. I was like, well,
because now it's close. Now that we've got those two passed, now it's like, okay.
Although I did say you've still got to get the pay sorted. He went, don't worry, I know. So yeah.
Or at least
that is the end of episode 52. 52.
Good.
52. How many weeks in a year?
A year,
52.
Really?
Have we actually done one every single week for an entire year?
Mm-hmm.
Consistent.
Yeah, that's good.
Well done, Michael.
That's how podcasts grow.
Yeah, well done, boys.
How everything grows.
And you're still here.
3 podcasts now.
Brilliant. All right, I will see you all next week. And Nick, thank you for coming.
Thank you, I've really enjoyed it.
Pleasure.